Hello and welcome to another video, my beautiful intentional attention ASMR tribe. I so deeply appreciate you and love you that today I wanted to do a special video for you. Now today's video is going to be kind of a series of maybe scrapbooking things, even though I don't really scrapbook, but I do have some old magazines I found in a box at the office, and I thought it would be cool to maybe just kind of do some page flipping and look at art that's about 20 years old. I think these are from 2002 and 21 years old now, I guess, but taking a look at some of these, maybe doing some drawing like I have a pen, and maybe doing some cutting out. So I wanted to also take this opportunity to just have a little bit of a ramble speak with you. Oh, I brought my magnifying glass too. I hope that looks pretty cool to you and could be a nice visual trigger for you to enjoy. But yeah, I just wanted to take another moment to just really reconnect with you and, just kind of iterate. A lot of times when I start these videos, I don't really have sometimes I have a very detailed idea about what I want to do, and it's very clear to me. Those type of videos normally pop into my brain when I'm sleeping, or just about ready to wake up, or I'm in the shower. Those are usually the times where the most detailed videos come. And then sometimes I'm just simply taken and struck by inspiration in the moment. And these sort of rambly videos, these ones where I have the leftovers for lunch, was kind of a series that I was doing. And this one here are a little more kind of in the moment. So I don't really know what I'm going to be talking about. It's very unstructured. And that also, in one way, is probably the most purest form of art. Because it depends on what school of thought that you're from, but a lot of times I believe it's the intention behind the art. And the intention behind our art has always been the state of relaxation, the state of comfort, and the state of soothing. To even be able to pick up any of these videos at any point and know that you have a friend and you have somebody that cares about you and for you, and somebody who cares about the outcome of different things as they occur. And sometimes it's just, you just need to pick these up and see them and feel them and just feel like you belong. Because the truth of the matter is, my friend, you do belong. And you are important. And that's why talking about these things, like having affirmations and talking about things like self-love and talking about ways that we can take care of ourselves, are so important. Because at the end of the day, you are the one person that you wake up with. So regardless of your relationship status, or how much money you've got, or where you live, or what you do, or how many people you are in contact with, I want to know about you, but at this stage in my life, I am not too concerned about impressing people. I'm not too concerned about how I look to others or looking good. What I am concerned with is creating art that gives other people pleasure. Now, in the sense of ASMR, ASMR gives pleasure in the form of tingles. And because we only have each other and the tribe as feedback, it's almost impossible for everyone to feel the same sensation at the same time. So we do things like we use words to try to describe a feeling. And it's unfortunately a very difficult thing to do sometimes, especially when it comes to what we call in the ASMR world tingles. Now, for me, it's different every time, and it's different for different channels, different people that I listen to, and different people that I participate in ASMR with. But the thing that is consistent is the amount of the location. The location, and when I said amount, I really meant frequency. So the amount and the frequency vary, but are very consistent. So what I mean by that is it's usually my lower back, right in the middle where my spine is. That's a very tingly location for me. And the top of my head, like between my ears, and then all the way down to the bottoms of my feet, almost in between my toes, kind of where my toes go into the sole of my foot. Now, those sound very specific, and they are, because those are the places that I really, really recognize this. And it is a very comforting sensation. It's probably something from childhood where somebody did something really nice to me and I kind of felt those tingles in that area. And by no stretch of the imagination am I a scientist, psychologist, or any sort of doctor of any sort. However, I do know what is true for me. And for me, those are really the three places I get tingles. So in between my ears, the back of the head. For those of you who have short hair, it's kind of the same feeling for me that comes up when they use like a number 3 razor on the back of my head when I get a haircut. And then my lower back, the very small of my back, in the back where the skin is and the spine, almost get to the hips, maybe like about an inch up from there. And then my feet, my toes, and between my toes and the soles of my feet. And those radiate different levels. So if somebody does something really tingly that's kind of scary, it'll pop up for a second and then kind of go away. So I'm curious to hear from you, where do you get tingles in your body? Now, I'm making the assumption that we all have the same sort of awareness around tactile things and awareness around our body and the physical structures that are around us, and sometimes that's kind of a learned behavior. So again, there's really no right or wrong answer. I'm just curious, could you please leave in the comments below where you get tingles and where you get tingles the most? Now, if you really want to create a dialogue in the tribe and have a conversation, I would be very curious to know, almost scientifically, how consistent it is. Because sometimes people say, oh, well, I can't tingle for days or whatever. And for me, I tingle almost instantly the moment I hear ASMR, especially in the context of that. Now, one thing that I do is I do wear headphones when I work, and I do listen to a lot of ASMR at work. So I could be at a slight advantage with that. But I would be curious for you to share, just as intimately as you feel comfortable, how and where you get tingles, and more importantly, what you were watching and listening to at the same time. Because we're really dealing with both senses as far as sight and sounds, but then also the tactile bit, the skin, is important too. And you will feel tingles on your body, almost like a physical sensation. So really, it's amazing to be able to create this thing together. And I do base a lot of things on the tribe, so it's really important for me to be able to do things that people want to hear and listen to that are going to create the most amount of tingles. I mean, that's kind of how we got into this conversation. But being that we're a third-party person, we're one step away. We're not in real life talking to each other. But in a way, we kind of are, just in a sense that You subscribe to my channel. I subscribe to yours. We watch each other's stuff. I mean, not only am I a creator, but I'm a consumer, and I was a consumer first. Because I wasn't really quite sure what tingles were, and I wasn't really sure what this whole thing was all about. And I'm an INTJ. A lot of you folks know that about me. Anybody who speaks to me over email or has done any collaborations with me or talks about any projects knows that I'm a very like a by the book sort of fellow. I guess would be the way to kind of put it. So really something like ASMR is truly outside of the realm of my comfort zone. Truly is something that takes something for me to express myself in this fashion, to be able to sit down and have these creative ideas, and then not only have the ideas, but then to fully execute them, and then to sort of give up some things, give up this whole, what if somebody's going to judge me because I'm a vegan? What if somebody's going to judge me because I'm barefoot in a video? I mean, I actually literally, somebody took the time to write a comment that said, why are you barefoot in a video? That's kind of like asking me why I would be breathing air. It's just an automatic kind of thing that I do to be able to ground myself. There's no hidden agenda. There's no... And it's funny because one time I heard this, right when blogging became a thing, like blogging was whatever, taking off, or people started to get a little more awareness around it, there was this running joke in the IT community, which was, who is the weirder one? The dude playing air drums to Rush at midnight in his apartment, or the guy with the blog writing about the guy playing air drums at midnight to Rush in his apartment? So it in a way, it kind of swings both ways, if you know what I mean. So anyway, I don't mean to belabor or beat that into the ground. I am truly interested in what causes you tingles, and do want to create value in the world such that you want to watch my videos and you want to engage with the videos and with me too. I mean, I have been considering the idea of taking things to the next level, maybe starting a Substack, maybe, I already have a Reddit. I do with much chagrin TikTok. Yeah, I mean, there's several different venues and areas of expression that can work. Just to reel it back to the comment about TikTok, TikTok is unfortunately they're the ones being blamed for a lot of this privacy issue that's happening, and this is obviously just my opinion, but I think that it's because they're outside of Silicon Valley that the big companies, like the one that we're watching this on now, and other ones that start with face and end in book, or I should say start with M and end in ETA, those companies are they're losing money. They're actually, a lot of even this, what we're using now, is changing their model and actually supporting shorter videos. And it's a shame. Well, I mean, I don't know if it's a shame, but it's definitely different, because what I value on YouTube can be really long videos, like if I'm trying to figure out how to fix a refrigerator, or install a new toilet, or put a catalytic converter back on the car. It's I value those. I value information, and I value knowledge, and I value sharing that. And so 30 seconds of somebody juggling something doesn't resonate with me. Now, that doesn't mean anything. I am not the demographic that they're going after with TikTok, and I shouldn't poo-poo them. I mean, they do have a very wide audience. I do enjoy sharing my stuff on there. So, I mean, again, I'm not a beautiful woman, and I'm not, I don't expect to sort of have a lot of followers on there. And it's not about followers. It's about creating this art in the world and perpetuating it. And ultimately, as you'll hear me say many, many times before, it's really the campfire rule. It's leaving the world a better place than where we found it. And right now, this ASMR channel is just my way of kind of doing that, because I saw an opportunity that hadn't existed, and it's been rough. It's been rough. Well, it hasn't been rough. It has really taught me a lot. So sometimes my guru will show up in the form of comments, like somebody commenting about not wearing shoes in a video. I mean, it seems kind of silly on the surface that somebody would take the time to write that out and all this energy, when the reality is, guys, I don't have my shoes on. It's not this, like, there's not a weird, deep-seated thing with it. It's just what is so. And, there's no way to predict those. You can't predict what people are going to have a problem with. And it's like this whole notion going around right now, selective outrage. And there's no, it's just, it's really frustrating, because I think it's frustrating for me because I simply don't understand it. There's nothing right or wrong with that. It's just that I don't understand it. And it's okay to sit in not understanding it. And the way I therapeutically do this is I'm doing things like what I'm doing now. I'm cutting out someone from a magazine, and hopefully you are enjoying the sound of the scissors doing what scissors do. And if this is all some weird childhood thing that happened to us, so be it. That's okay too. There's nothing wrong with that, because we are here for such a short period of time that I really think that besides the campfire rule of leaving the world a better place, I do feel like it's our goal to be happy. You need to be happy in what you're doing, and you need to be happy in your relationships, and because that's just how it is. And you're not going to be in a state of happiness all the time, right? Like, everything is ephemeral, and we know this. And I don't mean that in sort of a nihilistic sort of, FTW sort of way. We are designed as humans to have this comfort, and we're just part of the evolutionary process that's happening. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that, the telephone or the radio was this radical change, this radical thing that we now take for granted, that we have these little things in our pockets, maybe that you're even watching this on, that was better technology we had than going to the moon. And there's even people that say we didn't go to the moon. So it's just a weird, it's just a kind of a strange world that we live in, where agreement is one of the substrates. I mean, I really think that moving forward, focus is going to continue to be the highest and best currency that we have. And that focus, that ability to sit down and just do something, do and create and be a part of, is going to be increasingly be a skill that we need to not only foster, not only embrace, but also foster too. And that means supporting each other, that means liking each other's content, that means, and again, not just for creators too. I mean, I would hope that the bulk of the subscribers for Intentional Attention ASMR are really just consumers. And I want that, because that is how we create together the things that you really want. And I'm not saying that if you're a creator you shouldn't comment or reach out. I mean, I am here to help you, and you're here to help me. And sometimes you show up as my guru in drag with a negative comment, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I'm checking myself before I'm wrecking myself. Checking myself with this notion of how do I accept this? Is this acceptable for me to take these sort of negative comments, or is it just part of life? Because as you figured out by now, it's all about reaction. How you react to something is how you deal with it. And that is the most important thing, the most important lesson to learn, especially now in a very vitriolic culture that will just have a problem with anything. They'll have a problem with me saying I have a problem with everything. So it's very, very much relies on what I term a mature boundary. And I think that typically people who have been through a little more trauma in their life, they kind of get this on a very base sort of fundamental level. But having a mature boundary allows you to know in sort of an elastic way how far out you're willing to go. You know, if somebody came along and said, hey, create an OnlyFans, I'd be like, that's probably not in my mature boundary. You know, I mean, obviously using extreme things, I only use them because we can relate to them. So that's about it. I'm about ready to end my lunch hour here, and I wanted to, first off, thank you for hanging in there with me. If you're listening this far, you are a fan, and boy, do I appreciate, and boy, do I love you. Thank you so much. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so that you can always get the latest videos in your feed. And like my request from earlier, if you're open to it, if you're willing to share the intimate details of where and how you get tingles, let me know. I would really like to know. And maybe together we can do some work on figuring out how that is and how it occurs. Maybe it's visual stuff. Maybe it is seeing hands or fingers or toes. Maybe those are things that allow for that trigger. Maybe it's all auditory. Maybe we don't. Maybe we just have to have videos that are completely blank with nothing going on and just sound. And maybe it's all without talking. Maybe it's just paper ripping, and maybe it's just, you know, cutting out women who are saying the chicken or the egg first. Who knows, my friend? Only the future will tell. All right, remember that I love you. Remember that I care about you so much. Thank you so much for being a part of my tribe. I deeply, deeply appreciate our friendship. You are amazing. You are wonderful. I'm going to run this without any sort of dialogue, and thank you for listening to my rambling. I will talk to you very soon.